Welcome back, friends. It's BigDenoPlays Earthborne Rangers. We're up to day 10. Or are we on day 11? I can never remember. No, we're definitely on day 10 because it started raining, and that's exciting. We currently find ourselves at the bowl of the sun, and we're worried about an invasion. So we have to travel. Where are we actually trying to travel to? Sorry. I forget. It's been a couple of days since I played. I feel like we've got to get to Spire, maybe? Spire's getting attacked, I know that much. I'll have a look into it in a second, but I'm pretty sure we've just got to get to Spire and see if we can rescue some people. Anyway, it is what it is. More importantly, we've got a great new manifestation for our deck. So if we have a look, we picked up this Touch of the Verdesian, which is a really cool manifestation that our guy can finally play. We finally got a reward card that we can play, so that's very, very good. Cool, I'm going to just go set up. We're at the Bowl of the Sun, so the Fundamentalist joins the Bowl of the Sun. 2 path cards, the Mountain set, and I'll go check some things out and I'll find out what our mission is. Stand by. We're off to the Biological Outpost. We're on a journey to the Biological Outpost, which we find in the middle of that forest over there. So here's us in the Bowl of the Sun. We want to get to the Biological Outpost. The question is, do we run through this marsh of rebirth? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that way. Sure, we'll go through the marsh. What's the worst that can happen? I'm sure it's totally fine and safe. All right, so that's our deck. Let's set it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a pretty solid start. Vaulting Rod for ditching obstacles, Strider for getting through locations, Shape the Earth for getting through locations, Whipping, Troweling. I'm just going to keep that. Path deck assembly. One of them is the Fundamentalist. Arrival setup, the lead ranger has to draw 2 path cards. That seems like a really bad time. Shuffle that. We've got Downpour back. We start with 4 rain. 1, 2, 3, 4. Journey to the Biological Outpost. So invasion stage 1, it has been 1 to 2 days. This is not a ruin, so we do not include these reclaimers that I have sitting off to the side. All right. Throng of Life, cool. So we'll go read 37 on the app. Bowl of the Sun. And a massive pothole carved over the centuries into the red-hued rock. Someone has built a flourishing garden. Pipes, presumably carrying water, lead to and from the pothole and to smaller potholes on the periphery, each also growing carefully cultivated varieties of foliage. It's as if this sun-kissed plateau housed a living lexicon of every plant in the valley and beyond. That's cool. I wonder if it was the Fundamentalist. Probably not. Wow, that's awesome. What a cool location. We can meditate to soothe the fatigue. All right. So draw 2 path cards. Fractal Wire. Then we'll start with another one, a fresh Sitka carcass. And then we draw one at the start of the turn. Agitated Meadowlarks. Okay. So it's a strong start. It makes me think that, well, look, we can just shape the earth and immediately leave this bowl. Because we can go feature, feature, feature. However, we've got Strider in hand. It'd be probably good to keep Strider in hand. I feel like we're going to need all of our wits about us in the marsh of rebirth. So maybe we will just take that while it's on offer. Means we don't put the trowel into play, which would have been good. Oh, we can add from a flora. Oh, here we go. Let's do this instead. Let's go. The carbon forged trowel. Boom. Costs us 2 fitness. Then we'll spend a 2 spirit to tend to the local plants, and we'll attend to this fractal wire, which is a flora. We could add the vaulting rod, but we will keep that in hand. So our current effort is 2. It goes down to 1, which is a real shame. So we add 1 harm to that. Tend to the local plants to add or remove harm from a flora equal to your effort. So that's very good. Flip a crest. There's no crests. So we'll move on. So our next action will then be this focus plus sky whip to attempt to break the bladed coils to add 1 harm to this feature. We successfully get 2 effort, which means we've cleared the fractal wire due to harm, which is nice. We can then activate this and bring this back into hand. And we can attempt to avoid the meadowlarks. Do we do that? I'm tempted to avoid the meadowlarks and then park ourselves on the fresh Sitka carcass. Attempt to anyway. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to try and exhaust the meadowlarks. So it's going to cost us, if we get a minus here, we fail. We fail. Sunlight, fatigue. Damn. What happens if you fail and avoid? Yeah, okay. So we can try again. Or we can just take another fatigue. Sunlight. Oh, no. Well, we're exhausting this feature. Search the path deck for the next predator and put it into play. Oh well. Calypsa, good to see ya. A circling iris. Well, I sort of regret my decisions. We can scare that guy off though. Alright. Let's end our turn. That back, that back, that back, that back. We draw a card. Sparrowhawk. Bold. And we draw a path card. And it is a pouncing Aatrox, which comes in here and unfortunately ambushes us for 2 more fatigue. Alright, it's starting to look like I may have made the wrong call. Okay, we have our trowel, which is good. And for a change, we've got plenty of these exploration icons. We have a sky whip, so we can just whip the circling iris out of play. But we probably only get to whip something out of play. Interesting choices. Well, we've got Throng of Life in hand, which is always good. That was discarded when we triggered the sunlight. I would like to be here. I would have liked to have watched from there. Alright, I think we're going to sky whip the pouncing Aatrox away because we know 1, 2, 3. Do we clear the vaulting rod? I don't think so. Do we play Throng of Life? No. Actually, we will. That's 4 effort. And I think we're going to play 5 effort. 4. We need a 0. We've got a couple of minuses there. Come on, Dano. Oh, -2. You are a joker. Well, we picked up a glint. And there's sunlight. So we can actually play, well, if we did it this way instead, because we're not doofuses, then we can play Throng of Life and make that succeed. So we'll do that. We don't get any glints out of it. Be +1. So we'll trigger the sun, which is bad. But we'll actually do the mountains. So this goes away because we've successfully sky whipped him. Then we go through, we discard a fatigue. Gain a fatigue, I should say. There. This being is along the way. Move it within reach. It is. It fatigues you. Another 2. Terrible start. I could have been on and upwards to the next location. Exhaust this feature. Find yourself the next predator. It's a circling iris. And now we'll trigger the mountain effect. So the mountain effect is if there is an active predator, exhaust it, add harm to this being equal to that predator's presence. So we're going to exhaust this circling iris. We're going to kill the agitated meadowlarks. Very good. So we played all 3 of our manifestations. We'll bring Throng of Life back into hand using our roll. Okay, suboptimal. There's only 1 circling iris in play. We can scare it off, but we probably don't want to do that. We have a lot of fatigue. We have no fatigue management in play yet. Is this a water card? No. Wonder if anywhere in the marsh is a water card. I guess we'll find out. Could be really good to bring the vaulting rod into play and then just fish and soothe some fatigue. Maybe we change tack. Maybe we go to the alluvial ruins. I'm going to keep that in hand just in case, because soothing some fatigue seems like a nice time. Do we just, at this point, force him to run away, attempt to force him to run away, and then exit the location? I think we do. So we'll spend 2 spirit and Throng of Life to attempt to scare off the circling iris. We succeed. There's no other triggers, so he goes back on top of the deck. We then use Strider and our 2 fitness to traverse the location. We gain 1, we suffer another fatigue. However, we successfully clear that location. And now, we'll interact with that. We'll spend 1 focus, no hearts to meditate, and soothe 2 fatigue and get a glint. That is a great choice. But we suffer 1 fatigue, that flips. Then we soothe 2. We get trail mix. We will travel away from the location. This circling iris has persistence, so it is going to follow us. But I think we'll be okay with that. We should be able to sky whip. Yep, so we're going to rest. Going to gain all of our stuff back. We're going to draw a card. Versatile. And we're going to move to the Frowning Gate. I'll set that up. All right, we have arrived at the Frowning Gate. So we shuffle these bad boys and we'll flip ourselves 1, 2, 3. this deck. Travelling from the bowl of the sun. I've got good news. Well, I've got very good news right now. This is a water location. So let's go and read 32, the Frowning Gate. Kassendi Expert Hunter is into play. No, otherwise. Although the land around the swamp is thick with trees overgrown with moss and vines, you recognise the infamous Frowning Gate as you approach. Ancient trees curl over the path to form a gnarled arch, heavy with drooping curtains of moss and choked with vines. Beyond the arch, the trail descends to the depths of the swamp. Yes, it does. Lead Ranger, draw a path card. A spider-line stanchion. That's a pretty good turn of events, even though it is an obstacle. And then to start our turn, Ren Kobo. G'day friends, I'd like to give you some things. Well, this is a pretty good turn of events, I think. Okay, so we're gonna flip this over, have a look at this. All right, so if we fish, if there is a water card in play to soothe 2 fatigue and add 2 progress to a water card. Okay, so we're going to do this in a specific order because this is a tragically bad turn of events for us. Tragically bad. So we need to connect with Ren Kobo first so that we at least have some stuff. Unfortunately, because we rested, there's now 2 rain on this card. Okay. Trail Mix is another option, but it's a slower burn, so I think we keep that in hand, or maybe we just use it to fish with. Okay, we're definitely going to pay 1 fitness to bring in Artel's Vaulting Rod. We're going to have to lose the trowel. We're okay with that. I think we then connect with Ren Kobo, but we don't want to succeed at this. We don't want to have too many progress on him. That Spiderline Stanchion is actually such an interesting one to have gotten because it will allow us to go 1, 2 to the green bridge, which will eliminate a lot of time for us, which is nice. All right, we're going to connect with Ren Kobo. As long as we don't flip a +1, this is fine. It's a 0. That's perfect. That's perfect. So we've got 3 progress on Ren Kobo. Then we activate this, remove 1 from a path card, so we go down to 2. And that's all. Okay. So I think we scare off, oh no we can't because we just used our spirit. Damn. So I think we avoid the Irix maybe. We'll tap our Throng of Life back into hand to exhaust our roll and bring that into hand. Nom, 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 nom. Maybe we should have hit the Circling Irix with our trowel before we moved on. We can Sky Whip him, I suppose. Clear him off. Yeah, I think we'll do that. I think we'll Sky Whip him for 3. It means we're not fishing this turn, but that's okay. We'll fish next turn. Sky Whip, discard our Glint. -1 and Sunlight. Okay, so add 1 progress to the location as Ren shares his roots with you. Good on you, Ren. What a top bloke. If this being is along the way, move it to within reach. You can realise no one's seeing that, so good work, mate. Yep, so nothing bad happens there, except we only do 2 harm to him, which is quite annoying. I probably should have put one of these into it, trail mix maybe. I'm going to be fishing to remove stuff, so it's good to just make up these things as you go along, you know, bit of fun. We rest, we take a card into hand, it's Eagle Eye, we flip over, Fractal Wire, again probably not too bad, gain all of our stuff back, and it's time to fish. Let's fish, little friends. So we'll tap to bring Skywhip back into hand, and we will spend these 2 to fish. Oh. Fishing, 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 fishing. Okay, so we get a glint. We successfully fish. We're back here with this. So that means if there's a water card in play, soothe 2 fatigue and add 2 progress to a water card. So this is now at 3, which means we can leave pretty much any time. We soothe 2 fatigue, more importantly. And we have 1 more. Oh no, we can vault twice, but we can fish as long as we want. He's a maniac, maniac on the floor. We might, yeah, that's such a good, such a good turn of events. That this is a water location. It's not an exhaust either. I can do that again. What's our likelihood of needing another vaulting rod? Pretty low, so we'll fish again. With a 3. We get a -1, so we successfully fish to bring 2 cards back into hand and add 2 progress to a water location. I think we'll now vault the Fractal Wire. Pretty sure I haven't exhausted my roll yet. I'm going to check. I did, so we can't bring another one into hand. That's a shame. The reason we would want to is I want to put myself on this spider line stanchion, so we're at enough to leave the location. I definitely want to go here, and that is a spirit +1. I have a Throng of Life in hand. I will be able to play it because I have a manifestation, so we can do that. So let's exhaust the vault to exhaust this Fractal Wire. Let's spend our 2 spirit to brace ourselves on the spider line stanchion. And we flip a 0, which is bad. So we do have to play Throng of Life. So we'll play Throng of Life. We get to take the +1. So we successfully have moved our player token to the spider line stanchion. And that's good. So we're going to trigger mountains and we're going to trigger crests. So we have to remove a progress from a path card, which we've done. And then mountains, if there is an active predator, there is not. Do we remember our ranger training? No. Okay, at this point, I think we rest again. I want to bring these two back into hand, do I? Or do I just fish at the next location? I think we fish at the next location. So if we go over here and look at, because of the spider line stanchion, when you travel, if your player tokens are on this feature, you may travel to a location up to 2 paths away. 1, 2. So we can travel straight to the green bridge, which will get us out of this swampy swamp quickly. So we're going to do that. We're going to go travel to the green bridge in the swamp. Good work, Spiderline Stanchion. We appreciate you. Okay, so we end our day. We draw a card. That's a nice one to get. We are going to set up for the green bridge, which is a non-pivotal location. So we will add 3 path cards. 1, 2, 3. Ren Kobo's here. He's going to help us out. He's a good bloke. We have the Marsh deck, which is cool. It's never been used. In these go. And then we're going to read section 29, the Green Bridge. A series of tall vine-wreathed supports rise out of the swamps. Lengths of equally vine-wrapped cables stretch between them, creating a spindly, living walkway above the treetops. The bridge creaks and sways as you walk upon it, and far below you can see the fortress of cypress trees known as Cypress Citadel. How stable is this bridge? What a great question. I'm sure it's very stable. Or not. Okay, so it's got 4 struts on it, which is cool. It's another water location, so we can just have a little fish. Fishy, fish, fish. Ren Kobo's hanging out with us. What was our lead ranger having to do? Draw a path card. So we've got 2 path cards to draw. The first one we get is a Hydra Worm. Oh my god. If you attack it, it brings more of them into play. Oh my god, that's bad. And then we draw another one. Fetid Bog. It's a feature. After a being is cleared by harm, attach it face down to this feature. Refresh. Discard 1 face down card. X is equal to twice the number of face down cards. Oh, this feature fatigues you. Alright, we're on for an interesting challenge. Alright, the first thing I think we absolutely need to do is exhaust the Hydra Worm. We'll tap Throng of Life and bring it back into play. I think we need to connect with Ren Kobo and get him out of here. I'm going to start doing this so I know I'm not an idiot. Well, we can connect with Ren Kobo and get him out of here. We can also do a super rush down the green bridge. This is not an obstacle, so this is fine. The Hydra Worm is only 2, so if we do it, if we rush this down, if there's a water card in play, soothe 2 fatigue and add 2 progress to a water card. So maybe we don't need to rush that. Maybe we can, because if we flip a sun, and we've fished once, then we've cleared the location and we can leave. So a sun and a fish. So let's instead discard our trail mix and 2 to avoid the Hydra Worm. That's a fantastic turn of events. So the Hydra Worm goes here. It is exhausted. We gain a glint from this. We do remove a strut though, which is bad. And that is all of the things. So now we can fish. Let's fish, gonna be okay. Da do 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 do. Let's fish. Fishing, fishy, fishy, fishy. So we had 2 progress, 1, 2. We recovered 2 fatigue, 1, 2. Touch of the Verdessa, yeah! Oh my god. Manifestation, add 1 harm to a flora, fetid bog, to add 4 harm, 4 progress to a path card. If that path card is a biomeld, increase the number of harm or progress added to it by 2. So we can clear a Hydra worm. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Great. You may exhaust your roll. If you do not, this creature fatigues you. It fatigues us for 0 because it's currently nothing. Okay, so we could now connect with Renkobo and try and clear him. However, we don't want to do that because we want his sunlight. But we can actually just do a traverse there now and we're fine. Yeah, let's connect with Renkobo. We'll spend our compassionate. Now 2. We successfully connect with Renkobo. We remove another strut. Uh-oh, there's only 2 struts left. End the round and travel to the Cypress Citadel. That seems bad. So Renkobo has cleared thanks to progress. So we'll go read his story. Renkobo. What number are you, Ren? You're number 83. Renkobo, he entered play. I'm Master of Commerce in the Sunray Flotilla, at your service. Perhaps you'd like to make a trade. We clear Renkobo with that. Trade, you say? Well, of course you do. I've been from the Messapian Sea to the fortresses of the Ice Clans, and I've even laid eyes on the Great Ocean, if you can believe it. And I have something from everywhere I visited. Now, let's see if I can find something to tickle your fancy. Each ranger may return a gear from their hand to their collection. I don't have a gear in hand. Choose a starting gear from the collection that they meet the stat requirement for and add it to their hand. If you don't trade with Renkobo, soothe 2 fatigue. We're done. Renkobo's cleared. We probably could have kept him just like trundling along with us, really. The only risk with that is you then potentially end the day if he dies to harm. We'll spend 2 fitness to traverse. We successfully traverse. This feature fatigues us for 0. We've traversed the location. We can travel away from the green bridge. I think we handled that well, and we will reach the Mound of the Navigator. We shall return. No more fishing. The Mound of the Navigator doesn't have water. What a shame. It is a non-pivotal location. We are still in the marsh though, so got to be careful. 1, 2, 3. It's been a good day so far. Managed to navigate the marsh of rebirth without too much challenge. We've got a touch of the Verdessa in hand, so we can use our thing. Let's go read 27. The pillar of the rock, known as the Mound of the Navigator, you can see for miles in all directions. Oh, this is one that I think we get to look at things. Analyze the path ahead to add a route to this location. Yeah, we can just get progress on the... Yeah, so we're going to the biological outpost next, which is our travel journey quest. So we're good. Did I draw a card into hand? I don't think so. So draw a card, Sparrowhawk, which is nice. Unexhaust, unexhaust. This one is search the path deck for the next feature and put it into play. Hydra worms, you reckon? Uravos. Umbra. All right, overgrown ruins, which is good. Might be pulling a Skyward back in hand. Oh, we got touch with the Videssa. Yes. Draw a path card. It is a Hydra Worm. Okay. Well, we can delve into the ruins. We can delve into the ruins. That sounds interesting. I'd like to do that. All right. Touch of the Verdessa. Seems like a good way to clear a Hydra Worm. We can just add harm. Is there a flora? There is a flora. Yeah, touch of the Videssa. It's time to play our brand new manifestation. We add 1 harm to a flora. This is a flora. To add 4 harm or 4 progress to a path card. If it is a biomeld, which the Hydra Worm is, we can increase added by 2. So we can just defeat that Hydra Worm by harm. I don't think there's any downside to doing that. I don't know why we would be trying to connect with it. It doesn't make any sense. Because there's no benefit to clearing it. Touch of the Verdessa. Amazing. Oh, guess what? We'll exhaust our Prodigy of the Floating Tower and we'll bring Touch of the Videssa back into play. And that only costs us 1 fitness. That is like Skywhip on steroids. All right. I really want to traverse this overgrown ruins. We've got no downsides at the moment, so we're probably, now's our time to just bounce around. If we discover a way into the ancient ruins and then start traversing it, so we definitely want to traverse there so we can clear that out of the way. That does fatigue us though. That's fine. We'll save that for later. We'll use our Sparrowhawk for the icon. We can only traverse. Yeah, that's okay. We'll traverse for that. And we're going to try and traverse the overgrown ruins. So we get a 0, which is effectively 2 progress on the overgrown ruins. We'll then do an awareness check, and we'll just spend all 3 of our awareness to discover that location. We will move our token to there. And we will, do we remember our ranger training? Yep, we'll remember our ranger training. So we're fatigued. We draw 1 card into hand. It's another touch of the Verdessa. That's very nice. We'll rest. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1. We flip. Oorah! She's looking for Quizzy. I think she was over in the swamp. So we draw a card. Ironwool boots. Is there any water over here? Can I do some fishing? Yeah, I think we're going to clear the fishing rod now. I can see water in the middle of that lake here, clowns. You can ask Ura who she's encountered during her travels to search the valley set for a human and shuffle him into the path deck. So you're probably looking for Ben Armon, right? So that you can then travel on the Swift. Interesting. Okay, how many cards have we got in hand? 1, 2, we got quite a few in our deck. So we're going to traverse the overgrown ruins again. Okay, so we've successfully traversed the ruins. We now have 5 progress on that location, and that is there. So we're going to be able to do that. That's suffering a fatigue from the pouring rain, and there's no other sunlights. So we've cleared thanks to progress, and we're going to delve into the ruins. 9.2, get excited. What's in the ruins? What's in the box? If you're at the Marsh of Rebirth, I'm not. You carefully pick through the vine-covered ruins. The ancient carbon composite walls are hidden by muck and mass worn down by water and weather. You brush aside a layer of grime and find a map carved in the wall. It shows this building as well as a large cluster of buildings deeper in the swamp. If there are any artifacts worth salvaging, you'll probably find them in the Marsh of Rebirth. You step out of the ruins and get your bearings. Exhaust one being. Oh well, we tried. We tried. Just realised I didn't save myself anything to traverse here, which was a bit dumb. Let's connect with Ura using Throng of Life. We have not exhausted. We have exhausted our roll. Have we? No, I don't think we have. I want to bring her. Shake the earth back into hand. Yep, so we'll connect with Ura and we will succeed. We'll get a glint, which is glorious. Ura, gone. What is it we're going to do for us? Connect with Uravas. Ura. Ura. Quizzy Voss is in play. Go to 80.2. She's not. 81.1. Clear Ura with progress to help her find Quizzy. Do we want to try and help her find Quizzy? I've been tracking Quizzy for hours. I think I know where she's going, but somehow the little trailblazer is always one step ahead of me. Let's try. We'll remove all progress and we'll attach the helping hand mission to Ura. Or do we soothe to fatigue? No, we'll give it a try. We'll try and help her. Helping hand mission. Wonder what she's going to give us if we succeed. She gains persistent. Okay, so how do we... So we've got to ask her who she's encountered to search the valley deck for a human and shuffle them into the path deck. Uravos. Helping hand is attached. Go to 81.2. Ooh. Okay. So I think we have to use her special focus ability. It's a shame we can't use Strider on that. That's going to shuffle. I think we're going to rest. Because we really need to get... Yeah, we rest. We flip. An intrepid marmot. Hello there, little friend. If there are no predators in play, exhaust this being. Draw a path card. That seems bad. Could be good though. All right, so here's my plan. We've got Eagle Eye in hand, right? So Eagle Eye will allow us to rifle through this deck. This is a bad place for us to be attempting to find Quizzy. I'd feel much safer at the biological outpost. So I think our best play here is to just interact with the location, spending our 5, and we get a 0. There is no active predators, so we're good. We can walk away. We're going to do that straight away. I'm not going to waste time. We unexhausted our roll. We brought Throng of Life back into hand. We're then going to travel away. So Ura's going to come with us. My concern there was, even though I could have looked for Quizzy, there's a Hydra worm. Hydra worms galore. And we knew that there were some other bad ones in there. So that's good. We handled that well, I think. So we draw a card into hand. We have reached the biological outpost, and I will set that up. All right, so we have another shuffling of this deck to add some path cards, valley cards. 1, 2, 3. I wonder if the convention is that you are supposed to not look at these things when you create them. Surely you are not supposed to look. Biological outpost. So we have reached the biological outpost with journey. So first of all, we'll go read 22. Many years ago, the Rangers strung a blind between several towering trees large enough that half a dozen of people could live in cosy comfort. In the time since, the blind was replaced by a multi-history building with space enough to accommodate a small village. Here the locals devoted to biological research study the valley's wildlife, especially focusing on the area's unique biomelds. Now, we have a journey and we've arrived at the attached location. So 113. When you reach the biological outpost, you are pleasantly surprised when you not only find Sirasana Mia, the valley's self-proclaimed resident biologist, but Zektzal, the stilt horse courier, making a pot of tea on the outpost's lone sol coil. Zeke recognises you from ranger training, and both he and Sirasana listen to mounting alarm of your experiences with the reclaimers. We are not, we go, 113B. If you completed the sensor network mission, we did not. If you've completed the secret invasion mission, no. Otherwise, go to 114. Zach finishes his tea and stands. Well, I suppose I'd best get to Lone Tree and let Elder Thrush know about all of this. Come on, Nell, quit snacking. We've got a ride ahead of us. You spend a few hours at the biological station resting after your hike, while Sirasana continues their studies. As the light is starting to fade, Sirasana's apprentice, Tiela Jakara, returns from a day of field studies with a rucksack full of lichen and an armful of branches for the fire pit. Sirasana gets her up to speed on events, and the two immediately fall into a lively debate about what, if anything, to do about the reclaimers. They are clearly an invasive species, Sirasana says. There is no prior record of these biomelds in the valley. Our ancestors encountered these reclaimers in the time before we settled here, but that was long ago. They get another biomeld run amok, fulfilling some esoteric purpose that's at odds with the natural world. We don't know that for certain, Tiela retorts. Even if they are fulfilling some outmoded purpose, they've had centuries to become part of the ecosystem. Look at the Relgar beasts. They were once viewed as an invasive pest, but over time we've learned how critical they are to the ecology of the Vedessa, or take growling weevils. At this point, you hesitantly interrupt to point out that what these beings are may matter less than why they have suddenly arrived and whether anything can be done about it. Both Sirasana and Tiela stare at you like the idea never occurred to them. 114A. They must have a nest, Tiela says, somewhere they congregate. To learn more, you're going to have to find it. You tell them about the vision Nal experienced before the Vedessian disappeared, that she saw the nest but couldn't see exactly where it was. You relay Nal's description, climbing vines, a collection of ruins and a river. That sounds like the alluvial ruins to me. Of course, Taylor says excitedly. If the reclaimers are drawn to ruins for some reason, what better place than a nest than the largest ruined site in the valley? What are you waiting for? Go to the nest and learn all you can about the reclaimers. Complete the Journey Biological Outpost and gain the Into the Nest mission. Good work, team. Good work. Into the nest. Boop. So, travel to the Reclaimer's Nest to study what they are doing in the valley. Nice. Lead Ranger, search the path deck for the next predator or prey and put it into play. It's a Sitka buck. So, whoa, the biological outpost looks cool. Alright, so Sitka buck is down here with Ura. We draw a path card. It is an overgrown thicket, an obstacle. It's not a water location, so we can't fish. Okay, so our first thing that we're going to do is we're going to play our reverb locket and our touch of the Vedessa and our focus to immediately ask Ura who she has encountered during her travels to search the valley deck for a human and shuffle them into the path deck. So we will search the valley deck for Quizzy. There she is, the little rascal. And we will do that now. Okay, so we shuffle Ura into the path deck. Sorry, Quizzy into the path deck, the little pest. Did I actually flip my card? I already check. I didn't, so I need to flip this. It's a 0, it's a glint, and we successfully do that. There is an active Sitka doe. No, there is not. There is not an active predator, so we're done. So we now have Quizzy in the path deck shuffled in. We'll now spend an awareness to... Probably should have played the reverb locket actually. It's fine. Search 3 path cards, scout 3 path cards. 1, 2, 3. Come on, Quizzy, you little rascal. Oh, Calypso though. Nope, our goal is to find Quizzy. So we flip that and we see a Sunbury bramble. That's nice. So we can pluck the brambles to soothe to fatigue. Yeah, we'll exhaust our roll to bring touch of the Vedessa back into hand. There's no water location. We've got touch of the Vedessa in play. So we can just we'll just avoid the Sitka buck, I guess. We successfully avoid the Sitka buck. If there is no active predator or prey, there is not. Search the path deck for the next predator or prey and put it into play. Damn, so we've just been assaulted by a prowling woolhund. It's good though because it's cycling through the deck. Discard 1 progress from this feature. We can't do that, it fatigues you. If there is an active prey, there is not. So now, I think what we do is we just play Touch of the Vedessa using one of our glints. We add 1 harm to a flora to add 4 harm to the prowling woolhund. So that's done. And then we will pluck. Do we pluck? No, it'll fatigue us. Let's traverse the overgrown thicket. No, we're actually just going to rest. We're going to bring all this back into hand. We just want to find Quizzy. Come on, Quizzy. So we draw a card into hand. It's bold. It's good. And it's a Sitka buck. Unexhaust. There's 2 bucks. They'll be fighting each other, which is fine. So there is a harm on this Sunbury bramble, so it's going to clear very soon. But I think we would like to try and pluck the leaves, so maybe we'll do that. We'll exhaust our roll to bring touch of the Vedessa back into hand. I probably do regret my choice not to play the reverb locket now and put Eagle Eye on it. We don't have our Sparrowhawk, so we can't cycle through the path deck. There's no way to cycle the path deck. We can hunt our way through the dense foliage. I think our best bet is just to pluck the thorn-ringed fruit. So that's going to be 3 awareness. We're just going to do 1, 2, 3. And it's a +1, so that's cool. So we clear that. We soothe 2 fatigue. We just picked up Seen Through Cycles, which is just glorious. So that clears. We then do Sunlight, discard that, suffer a fatigue. And then if there's another active Sitka Buck, exhaust this being, add 2 harm to both this and the other Sitka Buck. So these two guys are charging each other and fighting away. Very cool. No, so we just got Seen Through Cycles, which is really awesome. So we'll spend our glint. We'll do that. We'll choose a being in play and shuffle it into the path deck. It'll be this. Then search the path deck and discard for a being and put it into play. Oh, g'day Quizzy. Good to see you. We found her. Good job, team. So, Quizzy Voss comes into play. If Ura Voss is in play, go to 80.2. Quizzy, didn't I tell you to meet me at the ranger station? Quizzy, for her part, is studiously focused on digging a hole in the dirt with her toe. I was going to, but then I need some help to do some ranger stuff. I lost track of time. I've heard that one before. Next time, please don't make me look for you. I don't like worrying. Don't worry, Mama, I'm fine. The woman walks up to Quizzy and gives her a hug, and then looks at you, clearly relieved. Thank you for finding my little explorer, she says. Can you say thank you, Quizzy? Thank you, Quizzy says, and gives you a hug. Then she hands you a small pouch. These are my favourite snacks in the whole world. I have a whole bunch at home, so you can have these ones. Bye! Discard Ura and Quizzy and gain her favourite snack reward. Each person covers 2 fatigue. I got a good deck. I like my deck. It's very fun. Let's have our reward card. Quizzy's favourite snack, and we can think about if we want to. Oh, it's 1 spirit, so we can play it. Choose a ranger. That ranger soothes fatigue equal to the number of spirit in their spirit pool. Okay, so it's kind of like trail mix. It's got more of that icon, which I don't really need, but we'll have a think about that. Some reward cards we can bring into hand. So those 2 disappear. Helping Hand disappears. We have an exhausted Thitka Buck. Here's what we do. We tap the Vaulting Rod, which discards it to exhaust this overgrown thicket. We then spend our 2, plus our Bold, plus this touch of the Vedessa to do the location. We succeed, and we'll end the day there with only these in hand. Good work, team, good work. So we're off to the alluvial ruins. So let's have a look at the map. Biological outpost is here. I'd really like to go to Meadow, actually, on day 2, on day 12, because we're about to tip over to day 11. Is that right? Yeah. So if we're going to day 11, I think it was day 12 at Meadow, there's that celebration. So it'd be nice to go there for that. So maybe we go the long way round. Do we go back to the Mound of the Navigator and then go to Stoneweaver Bridge, maybe? And then to Meadow? One thing I was sort of thinking about last night is that I want to slow down a little bit and just sort of explore a little bit more. I feel like I'm rushing to get through missions and I'm just following the same process I do when I play games, which is just like immediately focus on how to win and fixate on doing that. And I think maybe it would be it'll be nice to just slow down a bit and explore, talk to people, find out a little bit more about the world. Yeah, so I think we might go, we're going to spend the next 2 days just traveling and go to Meadow. So we're going to go down to the Mound of the Navigator again as we make our way towards the alluvial ruins. However, we're in no rush. We're in no rush. So the Mound of the Navigator, and traveling back there travels us through the forest. Interesting little game this, friends. Interesting little game. I guess probably my biggest complaint right now is exactly what I just said. I just want to explore a little bit, just want to, you know, interact with things, and the game puts you on a timer sort of pretty quickly. Pretty quickly it puts you on a timer. So, yeah. I have definitely found myself with more spirit in general than that thing. So, do we get rid of trail mix now and just replace it with Quizzy's favourite snack? It's literally better in every way. So I think we will. I think we'll replace trail mix. Actually, I might keep a trail mix in there and lose a compassionate maybe. I haven't found myself needing to use compassion a lot. And we'll put 2 of Quizzy's favourite snack in. No, I think we'll keep compassionate. We'll lose the trail mix because what I have found is that I've got too many of that icon. So, Quizzy's favourite snack on your little quiz. All right, well, it's been a pleasure. Look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Big Deno out.